Oh yeah, so the project that I'm on is NEPA. That's the title. Never expect power always, and it's a short film that is a satire of the situation in the country, NEPA, and yeah, a young man who his wife gets involved in an accident, and then he rushes her to the hospital, and then there's like a lot of incompetence from the people that you would expect to be there for you, like NEPA, for example. When you hear NEPA, what comes to mind? And yeah, some other people. So eventually, at the end of the day, he feels like, oh, these guys are responsible, and he decides to take vengeance. And yeah, I'm trying not to talk too much because I want you guys to see it. I don't want to give spoilers. To be honest, it's I think that's beyond our power. We have people in the government who this shouldn't be a problem in 2024. The fact that we still don't have constant power. Every other country around us, we call ourselves the giant of Africa, but it feels like it's just, a name, and when you think about it, really, even the small countries around us have constant power. So why is it such a problem for us? And then it's beyond us, but we can have hope.
I'm excited to see, for everyone to see my film. It talks about how everyone needs help, no matter how successful you are. Even the therapist needs therapy. I just had an amazing time, and people were so dedicated to the story. I mean, I want to give a big shout out to Film Lab Africa, to British Council. And the key with film really is collaboration. If there's no collaboration, there's no film. Even if you're the story owner like myself, you can't do it on your own. From the makeup to the music to design to art department, it's a collaborative effort, and I can't take all the shine for it. So yeah, collaboration is key. Okay, cool. Okay, so I call myself a creative entrepreneur because I'm a musician as well. I perform. I have an EP coming out very soon, and I just also did a massive, a major docuseries, a 5-part that we wrapped late last year that you'll see soon, directed by Tolu Ajayi, who was also here today. Yes, he was my director for that. That's coming out really soon. So where I was just kind of just being creative. I love expressing myself. I love being given the platform to collaborate and show my ideas. So that's where I was. And there's so much coming soon. I can't wait. Like in terms of even co-productions, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Story is very special. I didn't write it, but I heard it at a pitching session, and I fell in love with the story because it resonated with me. We later developed it into what I thought it should be, but it's literally a snippet of like a long, broader film. I worked with a writer to make this work because it's a subject that really matters to me. I love women, and I mean, I have mothers. I'm surrounded by good women as friends. My wife, my daughter. I'm a girl dad, and so I felt like the first film I was going to make or needed to make was something that had to speak about something very important to me, a social cause film. And so I said, you know what? Let's talk about rape culture. I've been very vocal about it in the past, but then this time I was like, oh yeah, let's use art. For me, it was something that if anyone knows 10 women, 7 or 8 out of them have gone through rape or, gone through sexual harassment or abuse or domestic violence. But there have been 33,000 cases of reported, rape. And that's just cases that have been reported, but only less than 60 cases have been convicted. We have about 33 documented convicted cases of rape in the history of Nigeria. For me, that's a fail. And I felt like we have a lot of films that, talk about rape, the focus on the victim, the act, the perpetrator. And so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to point the finger at us, that society is the reason why this heinous crime thrives. For rape to exist, there must be rape culture. And rape culture is not by the predator or the victim. It's by us, the people. Our response to when cases like this happen, the culture of silencing the victims, the culture of not holding our justice system accountable, and making sure that our legislative, arm of government creates policy that will, for me, it's about evolution. It's about, growing and evolving. I've always, I think that this year has been a lot of transition for me. I've been learning a lot. So for me, it's more about like, I've always been that guy that wanted to express myself in every art form or in every way that I wanted to. I've done theater, I've done film, I've sung, I've acted, I've danced, and so I just felt like, okay, let me see, I think that I have something here, but I just need someone to hold my hands and show me the ropes, and so for me it's more about evolution and growth, basically.
Okay, so my project is called Ireti, and I made it about surviving cancer in Nigeria. It's my personal life story, and I really wanted to tell it so that it can inspire other people who have to go through the same journey in Nigeria, specifically because of the wavering faith that we have in our healthcare system. So that's why I made it. The process of making it was quite a journey, getting there, draft after draft after draft. I think we got to like the 12th or 13th draft of the script before we finally, decided that, okay, I think we're at a good place to go ahead and shoot this. But, the entire process I went into making it, selecting the crew, which is like the whole point of being a producer, working with your crew, preparing, making sure everybody's ready, having meetings upon meetings upon meetings just to make sure that we're all really in this project. That was quite a process. But it was a nice experience because I really saw the power of community come together on my sets. We had some challenges that we had no control over. On the first day of my shoot, it was a 3-day shoot, but on the first day, it rained for 3 hours. I've been saying this thing to everybody because it was the biggest problem I had. It rained for 3 hours and we couldn't do anything. And after a while, we were all just looking at each other like, this is how we sit down and just be waiting and just be watching, And I literally saw community, I saw creativity, I saw passion and dedication on my set. Everybody was moving about, trying to see how to sort things out, and that's how we knocked all the scenes for the day. We didn't have to strike or like lose any scenes on my set, and I'm really happy about that. I'm grateful for the support I got from friends, family, my landlady, God rest her soul. She passed after we shot. The hospital where I shot is the hospital where I got my treatment, and they were happy to allow me come and use the space. They supported me in everything I needed. I didn't have to pay a dime in the hospital, so I'm really grateful to them as well. It's been quite an experience. And today, people got to watch the film today. I was really nervous about it because I thought, God, are we ready? But I'm glad. I'm happy with the reaction I got from the audience, and I thank God it did what it was supposed to do in their hearts. So, Film Lab, the training at Film Lab Africa has built capacity for me. It has helped me build capacity. And when I say this is because I know where I was before I joined the program and where I'm at right now. There are things that I had no idea about prior to joining Film Lab, and now I can sit in a room where they're having these conversations, or I can stand in a meeting where they're having conversations about things that on a normal day I don't even know what they're talking about, even though it's in the film industry, film jargon, but like I'm fluent in film jargon now. And that's like a testament to how much I've learned from them. And I now know that I am capable of much more than I thought possible prior to joining the program. I have more confidence now when like tackling projects or when pitching, really, because now I have evidence. I have evidence there, So yeah, I'm just really hopeful for what the future holds for me as a filmmaker and for everyone on my crew as well.
The name of the project or film is Ireti. It's a film about Iyanu, who basically survived cancer. So it just shows her journey through it, the pain, the hardship, the support from family, and her just basically surviving and coming through on the other side. Cancer is such a difficult thing to go through. And I had to shave my head for the film. They had to film me shaving my head. So that was a very interesting time for me. And just being in the hospital as well, because I've lost someone to cancer. So just kind of going through those emotions was therapeutic and healing in a way. So before we started filming, we had multiple conversations for hours and hours where she would tell me everything she went through. She would cry, I would cry. And it just made me feel really confident that she trusted me enough to be vulnerable. So I knew I had to also deliver and also be vulnerable for her as the character. It was just profound for her to be so brave to share something like that and to trust me to tell her personal story.
So there are a couple of reasons, yeah. I think I'll start with a personal one, which I believe that If not you, someone you know can connect with it as well. You know this thing in most Nigerian homes, and I've been made to understand that it's even outside Nigeria as well, where you have parents breathing down your neck and try to guide you on what path you take. Growing up, my whole life, I was made to believe I was going to become an accountant general of the Federation. Now you could imagine that I've always had this passion for arts. But every moment when I come back from home, my mom will be, accountant general. And guess what? I kept failing mathematics. No, you're accountant. I kept failing mathematics. Before I knew it, my mates had gone into university and I was struggling to, long story short, I had to just find a way to because my dad called me and said, young man, sit down, let me talk to you. You see this money I'm giving you for JAM now? If you don't get into the university now, I'm done with you. So I had to get in. It ended up not being accounting. Can you imagine that? After all the years spent, eventually got into university, studied political science, So yeah, back to the question, why Salamatu? So it starts from there. The story of Salamatu is the story of self-discovery, also the story of tradition versus modernity. But at the core of it is the story of love. So because of my personal experience, which is one, I just explained, another reason is because we don't see more stories of people from the north, right? And then if you know about the story of Salamatu, a young Muslim girl who has found her passion in rap and wants to go into music, now you can imagine that. Because Arewa rappers, northern rappers, within the Nigerian context, they are not well known. Now imagine the female rappers. And I bet you there are a lot, right? So it's for me to shine light in the area where I come from, the north. There's a lot of stories in Nollywood about the south and stuff like that. But the northern side, there are so many reasons, so many stories not told. So yeah, my personal story, where I come from, I want to tell stories that have not been heard, which are authentically ours. And I love rap music, man. I can go all night just listening to rap music. So yeah, it's about people to get to know the stories of these people in the north, like women in the north, about how they face these challenges when they want to pursue things that they're interested in, especially in the creative space. You hardly see them. And it's not like a film whereby it's against religion or faith. It's just that they are humans. They have dreams. Some of them have gifts that are naturally been given to them, and they need expression for that. So I want people to see that. I want people to see how wider the stories in Nigeria are. And I want people to also, parents as well, to learn to, don't cage your children. I mean, they all have things that are passionate about. Just guide them, but don't cage them. Yeah, so those as well.